Hey, it's Kevin Lawton with the New Warehouse podcast, bringing you a new episode today. And on today's episode, I am going to be joined by Jean-Francois Marchand, better known as JF, as well, from UgoWork. We've had him on the show before. We've had UgoWork on the show before previously as well. So we're going to catch up with them a little bit, dive a little bit more into their new UGO Pilot application that they've launched as well. And then we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the energy space within material handling in 2024, and what people are really top of mind with this year, especially as we're heading into Modex, and also some of the exciting technologies that JF is looking forward to seeing at Modex, which of course I'm sure he's looking forward to seeing UgoWork there, where we talk about some of the other ones too, and also some of their involvement in the new Advanced Energy Council from MHI and some of the sessions that they'll be participating in there as well. So, JF, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for having me. Great to be back.
Definitely. Always happy to talk to you and learn what the latest is with UgoWork. But for people that are maybe not familiar, haven't heard previous episodes or have seen you guys around, why don't you give us kind of just the brief overview of UgoWork and what it is that you guys do?
Yeah, so we're based out of Canada, Quebec City, and we are a lithium-ion manufacturer, and also we do software for fleet management, energy management. We started 2015, but back then it was mostly product development. Really, the commercial start is 2018. And right now we have a fleet deployed all across North America. We have customers in food and beverage, big distribution, manufacturing. So heavy users. So the fit for lithium ion batteries basically, and we differentiate from our counterparts by three things basically. Charging infrastructure really different. We have a battery with the chargers that are embedded inside the battery, so that allows us to have a universal and multi-voltage charging stations that you can really easily deploy. Also, we're big with data. So from day one, we've been collecting data from our batteries, sending that to the cloud. And now we have UGO Pilot, which is our software suite that leverages that data to give insights to our users, basically. And finally, energy as a service is something that we have. It's a business model in which customers who don't want to make the heavy investment of a capex for a lithium ion battery can basically take like a cellular phone plan and pay by the usage, and that can be pooled at the fleet level, and it's managed in Ugo Pilot. So yeah, we're thriving, deploying in the US. You mentioned Modex, so we're going there to present our solution. We're trying to expand also with a distributor network, so we're inviting everyone to join us there.
Yeah, definitely, and a lot of things going on there around the energy side of things, and I think very smart how you're building out kind of that entire ecosystem almost around the lithium, right? And not only focusing on, like you said, the heavy users who maybe will make that capex investment up front, but also those who maybe don't want to make that ultimate capex
Yeah,
up front, and leveraging that energy as a service program. So I want to touch on the Yugo pilot a little bit because we did talk about this kind of around when it first came out, and we do have a little demo video up on our YouTube channel as well for people can check out to see what that looks like. Very cool looking, I will say. We say warehouses are sexy, and I'll say that's a sexy user interface. You guys really made that look good and look
thanks
nice
again.
there. But tell us a little bit about kind of, I guess, a little more background about UGO Pilot, but also kind of how UGO Pilot has been developing, and how it's gone since you've launched that.
Yeah, well, to go back in time a little, I said we've been collecting data from day one. And then we slowly started to understand what created value for our customers with that data. So we started by creating some reporting on the use of their energy in their fleet. And at first, we were sending quite humbly ugly PDF reports
Mm.
that were extract from an Excel sheet, and that's kind of how the idea of UGO Pilot and the value of the widgets that we now have and the information that we provide started from. And our customers what were telling us, oh, it's very nice, but you're showing me the past. So I would
Mm.
like to see what's happening real time, and I would like to be able to predict the future. So that's kind of what led to the features that are presently in Hugo Pilot. And we've done two intermediate releases since the initial launch. So improving on the features that were being asked, and yeah, it's a SaaS platform, so we can be very agile in updating the platform and creating more value for our customers. And we're really active in doing voice of customers to get really what's creating value for them, and we put that on our roadmap as we go on. So it's been at first it's been converting existing customers who are used to the PDFs,
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
putting them into the platform, and now we are actually doing our sales pitch and our sales demos with UgoWork as part of the whole solution. And yeah, the reception from end users and also dealers, forklift dealers, is excellent. So so
Yeah.
far so good with Ugo Pilot.
That's good. That's good, definitely. And I mean, I think it's such a great thing to be able to get that visualization from the platform, like we were able to see in the demo, and also the, just the overall insights, like you said, not only seeing like what's happened in the past, like yeah, that's great to see historical trends, but like you said, like yeah, I want to see what's going on now and what could potentially go on in the future too. Like how, that's really how you can make better decisions in the long run, right? So it's great to hear that the transition is going well for existing customers, and you're able to start to sell to new ones as well with that platform. I'm curious, you going from like you said, PDF files to now like this nice, sleek, sexy platform that you guys have created. So how is the I guess how is the customer response when they transition from the PDF to like this nice user interface?
Uh, it's night and day, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and a lot of people are telling us I've never seen anything like that in our space. I think the B2B space is a bit lagging in terms of
Mm,
the quality of user interface. So
yeah.
we're getting a lot of inspiration from what we see on the B2C side, and we're trying to make the experience as nice as possible. And yeah, of course, bring value, but a lot of the adoption of a product is in the UX UI. So we put a big effort on that. So yeah, so far, honestly, and I'm not even bragging, no bad comments about
Mm.
the platform, and 100% adoption rate for the platform with the new customers that we target. So very good.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think it's such a great point that you made there about, not traditionally seeing like nice looking or visually appealing user interface in the B2B side. And it's great to see kind of that almost consumer facing, I guess you would say, influence from, we look at our
Yeah,
smartphone, tablet that has these nice looking, very intuitive apps, and even just the visuals are nice. So to be able to bring that into the enterprise space, I think is such a great
yeah,
thing as well. And I think for the long term, even, I mean, it's going to be such a benefit as you start to bring in these new generations into the
absolutely.
workforce who have grown up with only nice looking apps, right, in their life, right? So
Yeah,
so I think that's really like a great thing that you guys focused on that, and
yeah.
being able to build upon that overall. So I could
Well,
definitely
a strong point of the demo is when
Yeah.
we do cell phone notifications, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's just that in a sense is a big turning point.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's such a great thing too, to be able to have that kind of mobility in a sense on the mobile phone or tablet or something. I remember I got a job once, and they issued me an iPad, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Like I can go and see the WMS and all these things on the iPad, like when I'm walking around in the warehouse." And they're like, "Oh no, yeah, you can just check your email on it." And I'm like, I never used that thing. It stayed in my drawer. I'm like, I just do that off my phone. So yeah, I mean, I think it's great to be able to think of that and have that flexibility, especially as you see those, managers and people that are looking at those insights, typically, are out on the floor. Like they're not parked in front of a computer all the time. So to be able to quickly pull those up and get the notifications when something's going on is super important too as well. So very interesting on the UGO pilot, and good to hear that that's going well for you guys. And I'm curious, as we look at kind of the energy space within material handling, here in kind of the beginning of 2024, it's still February, so we'll still say it's the beginning a little bit, but what are you seeing is kind of interest for customers that you're working with, potential customers on the energy side of things? I mean, you guys deal in lithium, but obviously there's other options out there too. I mean, how is the market kind of interested in lithium, or what are they looking for in energy solutions?
Yeah, well, I think we can say now that lithium is not a trend. It's really kind of mainstream. Back like 4 years ago, we were still in an education mode towards lithium to end users. Now people call us saying, "I want to transition.
Mm,
I want to electrify my propane fleet to lithium, or I want to switch from battery room to lithium, so because I don't want to do battery changes." And the discussion is more into what do you guys have different than the other lithium guys out there. So we kind of took a leap or took a big step in a way. And right now, a lot of the discussions go around the extra capacity of the battery. So let me take it down. First step, quality and safety. So that's like always the baseline. We always have discussions around that. So that brings discussion around are you UL certified? Are you
mm,
certified by the truck OEMs? So people want to, well, they don't want to risk anything with their business. So that has to be part of the discussion. And then what additional value can bring to the table. So that's when we talk about data. Data is a big thing. I think, especially the large corporations, the companies that have a continuous improvement mentality, they want to bet on that. They want to take advantage of data to improve and beat their competition. So I think data is power is something that you hear from time to
yeah.
time. Well, I think that's true. And yeah, obviously with Hugo Pilot, that's something that we're trying to achieve for our customers. And the last thing, and it's not a new thing, but CO2 emission reduction, carbon neutrality are now objectives that those companies out there have for 2030 or 2050. So you got to be able to um, prove or make a part in that, be part of the equation, because otherwise some other technologies will do it, and it's becoming more and more important, even a decision criteria in a lot of cases.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think those things are so important, and I mean, I think, like you said, the data is such a key too. I was just at Manifest, the show, and there was such a focus there on people wanting to understand data, not just from an energy perspective, but just an overall perspective. I
Yeah.
think people, they're, I wouldn't say they're getting immune to the shiny objects, that we're seeing in all the trade shows, right? But they're certainly understanding now that, like, hey, to start to put some of these things in and start to get some of these newer technologies in place, like we need to have that foundational data underlying that. We need to make sure our data is good because, if you're not having, if you have bad data and data is not clean or something like that, when you start to put in these new technologies, it's not gonna give you the results that you think it's gonna give you, right? It's not really gonna follow the right things, and it's going to have some issues, exceptions, and things like that. So there's really that foundational core there that I think people are focusing on. It's great to see that you guys are bringing that to the energy sector there, and being able to do that in a very insightful way.
Yeah, and I guess the next challenge will be to aggregate all that data because,
Mm,
like you said, a lot of shiny objects are out there, a lot of
yeah,
data source or apps and whatever, and these, if they're not talking to each other, if there's no unified vision of the data, then it's even trickier for for the end user
yeah,
to understand and use. So I think in the future we're going to see more and more um, APIs and ways to bring that data together to make it meaningful all in one place so that it's usable to the people who have it. So
yeah, yeah,
my little
absolutely.
prediction there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I think that's going to be such an important thing because, like you said, I mean, there are these all these different little, solutions popping up, and they're focusing on just like this little slice of the operation, and there's this slice of the operation, and at the
Yeah,
end of the day, like something needs to come to put them all together to be able to communicate and get the full overall picture of the full operation. And I think it's
exactly.
an interesting call out there as well. So I'm curious. We're coming up on Modex here. So we just talked a little bit about the energy space, but I'm curious. Aside from the energy space, what other kind of exciting technologies do you think are out there? What are you kind of looking forward to seeing at Modex potentially?
Well, we always keep an eye on AGVs and everything automation because it requires energy as well. So
Yeah,
we're making friends in that space. We don't have I don't have any announcement to make. UgoWork is not launching a new product
okay,
in the AGV space, but
yeah,
this is something we're looking at. And also, well, again, to go back with data, um, there are certain synergies that could possibly make sense in our space. Um, you mentioned WMS. I think there's also all the telemetry systems that are out there. So I think one very good innovation would be to make these like talk to each other. So we're excited to go and see how these guys evolve and see if there could be potential partnerships because at the end of the day the end user would be benefiting from seeing uh, the whole fleet being managed in one platform. And just to give an example, if in your WMS you knew exactly how much energy is remaining in a battery, and for one specific route, you know that you're going to lack energy at some point. There could be a charging period that is inserted into the sequence. So that kind of intelligence, that kind of integration is something that is really promising, and I think it's the future.
mm, yeah, yeah. I think that's really interesting to there as well. I mean, I think all those types of things, and kind of goes back to those integrations overall, and making sure everything's communicating with each other. I mean, when you see that kind of, I think, just seamless flow of not only the physical process, but then like also that seamless flow of, the systemic and data process throughout. the operation is really kind of when you get that optimal performance and that optimal kind of productivity out of that
Yeah.
warehouse or that operation to be able to see those things. And that's a sexy thing, right? Warehouses are sexy, we say. So definitely,
Yeah.
when we get all that stuff flowing together, that's when the beauty really
Yeah.
comes out of the operation, right?
You know,
So now
the
tell us. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say that the tagline for UGO Pilot is a better battery is just the start. So that kind of opens up the door to all those things that I think will be a reality in not so many years. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and I think that makes a lot of sense there too. And also tell us a little bit about Modex, what UgoWork is going to be doing there, what we can expect from you guys. You guys are now members of the Advanced Energy Council with MHI, and MHI puts on Modex
yeah,
for those that don't know. But you guys are going to be exhibiting, and then you're participating in two discussions as well. So tell us a little bit about that.
yeah. Well, we have a booth to display our products. We're gonna have a full flesh demo for UGO Pilot as well. So all of our sales team will be there with product manager, customer success manager. I'll be there also. So the booth is a very nice place to start if you want to visit. And then we do two seminars. The first one being sponsored by UgoWork. So we're
Mhm.
talking about energy as a service. I'm going to read the title here. So it's discover how a pragmatic pay-per-use partnership can elevate your fleet operations. So we're talking about energy as a service, how it can leverage your operation, and there's a specific topic on sustainability that I'm going to touch on that. So I'm speaking at the sustainability theater, and this is on March 11th, so first day
Okay.
at 2:30. So first appearance, and then like you mentioned, UgoWork is part of the Advanced Energy Council, which is an industry group from MHI. I think 2 years ago at Modex. That's when the first meeting occurred. At that time, it was called the Battery Group, but it kind of evolved into
Yeah.
something bigger. So
Yeah.
now we have truck OEMs, battery manufacturers, chargers. We even have a recycling company who's involved in the group.
Mhm.
And the mission of the group is to educate the public on what's the advanced energy sources that are out there. So lithium-ion batteries is one of them. And yeah, we're doing a panel with Mr. Martin Boyd from Heister Yale Group. We
Okay.
also have um, Oliver Stanbury. I'm sorry, Oliver. He's from Stanbury Electrical Engineering, so representing a charger company. And it's going to be moderated by Roberto Michel from uh, Modern Material Handling magazine.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're going to talk about third party certifications. So UL for those who are familiar
Yeah.
is very much out there in terms of certification of trucks, batteries, chargers. So we're gonna try to debunk um, what is a certification, what is UL listed versus UL recognized, how does that change anything into the day-to-day business. A lot of safety considerations when it comes to certification, so it's going to be, I think, interesting. And a lot of people who are making that move from either lead acid or propane to lithium will want to
Mhm.
know, okay, what should I check when I shop for a new partner?
Yeah.
And certification is definitely one of those. So I think it's a very good one to go.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely really interesting sessions there. And I love the idea of the Advanced Energy Council, and I think it's so great that you're getting that kind of whole energy ecosphere in there, right? Not just the battery, but also the charger, the trucks as well, to be able to kind of just push everything forward together. I mean, I'm curious, like, how has that kind of collaboration and open communication? I mean, how do you think that's able to kind of push the technology further and just awareness overall?
Yeah. Well, it's for sure it's a different situation. I mean, working with your direct competition at some point,
Mhm.
but we were able to define a clear agenda and really focus on the problems or the challenges that are common to the whole group. So certification was one of those. We felt that it was maybe hurting or slowing down the adoption of advanced energy sources. So that's why we decided to go ahead with that. And besides that, we do just general education content that we publish. There's a MHI has a very good and structured industry group um, management. So we have one touch point that manages meetings, defines clear agendas, tasks, and then they have a marketing force that can help us produce content and all. So it's a very good group to be in, and I think it's doing great for the industry in general. So
Mm. Yeah, yeah, that's great to hear, and I know they have a big focus on those industry groups, and I think they do a lot of good for the industry. So it's great to hear on your
yeah.
side of things, that you see the same thing and are having that positive experience. So really interesting to hear kind of the latest here on Yugo work from EJF, and also kind of what to expect at Modex as well. So very interesting stuff, and we'll definitely be looking to see that UGO Pilot demo in person as well, which I think is just so cool. And if you can't wait to see the demo, you can check it out on our YouTube channel as well. We have some there as well. But if people are interested in learning more, maybe they want to do some research before Modex. They're just so excited. They can't wait to see you guys at Modex. What's the best way to get some more information about Yugo work?
Well, UgoWork.com. That's the simple one. And then you can go to our LinkedIn page. There you will get all the news and the fresh feed. We're going to be posting a lot during Modex, even before that. So you can follow our page. And if you want to just talk one to one, you can DM me on LinkedIn as well, JF Marchand from UgoWork. So I think that sums it up.
All right, awesome. And we will definitely put all that information at the newwarehouse.com as well so people can easily find it. So, JF, always a pleasure to have you on the show. And thank you once again for your time today.
Thanks. Thanks very much. Looking forward to see you in Atlanta.